It is morning, and we're doing the PvE game while I do other things. Other things. Live streaming again on Conan Exiles. This is Hako, now known as the Artist Poet on PlayStation 4. You can go ahead and find me there, add me to your contacts list. Hit me. I don't do share plays. I do stream most of my activities when I'm playing in a group, just because it's kind of fun. If you do play with me while I am streaming, it is your option to have your audio included or not. Um, you can find that under party settings. But in any case, so yeah, this is not supposed to be a character. He doesn't exist anymore. I recreated this character, and he's at the character creation screen, which means that there isn't a character on that server supposedly. But yet the game is still saying that I'm level 17 there, which is where the level was where I finally realized that rubber banding off of a cliff or stuttering while climbing, since those are the two, playing near cliffs and stutter and climbing are like two of the things my characters do a lot in the game, is kind of like, that defeats the whole point of building a base or a camp that people have a hard time getting to. If I can't even get to it, I know they probably can't get to it. But then again, who knows? Because latency, lag, and ping are all geographical and subjective. So as you can see, talking about ping, all of the characters that I'm playing have a ping of higher than 60. I typically don't play the game at that point. I really won't play Conan if it's above 60. Even if I know I'm playing with a group that's going to war with other groups. When I say playing with a group, that means I'm not always in a clan when I play with them. I do run as a solo on most of my time, most of my games, and uh, I did this. This is the first season. This is the first time that I've actually been a part of more than one clan. I'm in a clan here. Well, I'm kind of not really in a clan in either one of these. Uh, and I am in a clan here. So I'm in two clans for sure officially. We all just kind of disbanded in this one. I'm not in their clan anymore. When I came to the server, I played for a very long time as a solo, and I've been on this server for more than a year now. This server for a little bit more than half a year, and same goes for this one too. 3812 was like my first official, meaning like I actually played that server. I played enough that had learned more or less all the recipes except for the Silent Legion armor. Because doing the dungeon solo at the time, or even with a fighter, I didn't have the strategies to solo the dungeon just yet. I had yet to explore gas masks and poison orbs. Who knew? But so uh, you know what? Since I haven't played on 3812 in a very, 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 very long time, and I was actually literally the last exile standing on that server, so I guess that kind of made me the alpha of that server for about 4 months. Um, because all the other groups just blew each other up, and three of them left because they got bored and went to other servers or tried out a private server, and the rest more or less just let their shit decay. Uh, there was only one guy that I was actively attacking, but he was another solo, and he was also level 60. And the only reason why I kept attacking him was because he kept, stealing from me. He would break in the door, break a chest, steal a bunch of shit, and all the time when I was off game. So then I just basically camped out, found his base, found his camps, found his base, and then found out when he signed on. And he didn't figure that out, that I could see the player list. And because I had figured out this list like week 3, except for that I didn't start realizing that level actually meant that was your character level, although it wasn't always very accurate for me. Well, okay, like I'm going to tell you right now, on 3808, I am not level 60. I am not level 60 here. I am here and here. Those are accurate. Land of Opportunity, I'm not level 60 there. So I don't know why it shows me level 60 on all those, and I don't know why it still shows I have a character here. I'll show you. I don't have a character here. Unless, of course, I'm completely talking out of my anus. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I kept, I found out. I built up a bunch of, bombs. I set up a couple of large chests kind of hidden away in trees, rock faces, and stuff like that near his camps. And when raid window happened, I basically hopped the entire map, blowing into all of his doors. And his actual base was up on the cliffside, up in the highlands. That was a pain in the ass. But I got in and was able to gas a bunch of his fighters, and at that time I learned about gas orbs. But I didn't think about taking him into a dungeon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I attacked him enough that he finally got irritated and left. And then I was like, okay, I am king of the hill, all by myself. I might as well just play an offline game. And so I did. I went off and I played an offline game, and I started doing server hopping at that time, and started developing my strategies for finding servers that are going to be appealing to me, looking for things and artifacts on the server, talking with members that I see sign in about the same times that I do. Huh? That's it. Yeah. See, there you go. I'm not. I don't have a character here. Impersonating a priestess, poor use of punctuation, swindling a baron. Can I use an exclamation point? Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and make a character then. It keeps saying that I have one here, so let's make one. I always go for Hyborian, because it is the Hyborian age. Just pick the Mitron for the easy potion. Or should I go with Yogg or Set? You know what? Let's do something totally different. Let's go with Durketo. Just because.
Death is coming.
The
Whoa.
gods are watching.
That's about close enough for me. Alright, head options. This is my standard formula right here. Let's do that. And hairstyle is always going to be that little ponytail hawk. Oh, second eyebrows. There, that's about accurate right there. No facial hair. I wish they had a stubble one. That's the closest I can get to stubble, and that would probably be based that I have some measure of gray in my beard. Not a lot, but that's actually pretty good. Let's. It is a really nasty looking beard on the sides though, but let's do some facial hair for a change. I had a beard like this for a long time. I actually look pretty good in it too. I might do that again. I tried this once or twice in real life. That was scary. Oh, I see what's different. It's the jowls. Now we're gonna go with Stubble Boy. I don't do the eyeshadow thing. Let's see, we'll do that, but this is the up all night. Yeah, yeah. Alright, now let's see if there's some way that, see if I adjust the chin, if I pull out the jaw. See, let's look at that. Now that's poor modeling. This is why I don't do facial hair in the game. I'd have to have this humongous broad jaw. I do not have, that is not, no. If you put it at the median, yeah. See, I'm not going to do facial hair. Forget it. It's just the facial hair in this game has always felt clunky and just really like just a slapdash, kind of thing. Not even like fully accurate. Hawkman, because I'm Hawko. Never mind. Now pull those big old Dumbo ears back. There we go. Da, 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 da. Everything's in the eyes. And let's see. Cow. Human. Sorry. Now, this is the only part of the character creation, depending on how you play. And I'll explain the skin tone in a minute. Sorry, formulating my words before I talk. Okay, hitboxes in games. A lot of games that are PvP have a have ways of defining their hitboxes. Now in Destiny, it's a paper thin hitbox. Um, Yet the they've made the female character and the male character about roughly the same size. A lot of people used to pick female characters in Destiny because they were lighter framed and they had a smaller hitbox. And they've changed that now so that both the males and female characters in Destiny have the same hitbox. There's no way to adjust your height in the game either. So, um, but the paper thin hitboxes. In other words, you could literally shoot through someone's legs right up to the groin. I swear to God, I have missed sniper shots, have recorded it, have captured it, gone back and looked at the video frame by frame in the PlayStation 4 editor, and actually seen, yeah, my bullet actually goes through their leg, like inches away from their thigh, and hits the wall behind them. And I'm like, okay, so that's not a hack. I thought he was hacking. And then, I did report them for cheating other because in the heat of the game, I was pretty salty. But this was like years ago when I was playing Destiny 2. So in this game, in Conan Exiles, a lot of the game involves climbing and hiding because you're surviving. And in PvP, hiding as a solo is your one key strategy. Bases of anything larger than a 10 by 10 space that are on the plateaus or in a tree or out in the open even, that's for clans. Okay, you don't build a base as a solo. Building a base as a solo, unless you plan to have people join you as a clan, is just a ridiculous waste of efforts. It really is. Just like raiding a solo is a ridiculous waste of effort. The most you can probably get is maybe a handful of legendary weapons that they cheesed out of a land boss or a dungeon. Or maybe you might get like someone's obsessive compulsive night iron or star metal run. Like you can't farm those resources yourself. If you've got the resources to blast into a person's base and blast into their chests and or vaults and kill their followers with armor and weapons on them, then you definitely have the man hours to go off and farm everything that you just stole from somebody else. You're just PvP if you want to PvP, okay? But if you want to go player versus enemies, uh, or player versus NPCs, or player versus AI, then just raid the cities. Those are more challenging because you'll get all the aggro you could possibly handle. Uh, it's but that's my opinion in game states. So in this game, hiding and is a big key factor, and I see a lot of people do this. And if I see a guy or a girl playing a character that's that built and ripped, I immediately know this might not be the server I want to play on because while it's kind of fun to run around with a humongous rack, guy or girl, um, yeah, I'll see a lot of that too. While it's kind of fun to run around looking like this, like a He-Man action figure, um, if you're playing PvP, you want to make your frame as slight and light as possible because there are some spots on this map that I have been able to hide characters in now on a couple of servers, upwards of about 2-3 months now. And these are guys, and these are on servers that were actively hunting players. One of the servers that I was playing on in a group, uh, where, like I said, I wasn't actually in their clan until towards the end. Uh, we had a bunch of server pirates and raider and wipers come in, and they totally were wiping the server. Um, and it got to the point where we did everything. We just basically, the clan itself didn't dissolve. We were staying in the clan, but we all just kind of retreated to our personal holdings. And then when those got blown up, we kind of just kept retreating further and further away from the map. It got to the point where most of us weren't even logging on, but I was the only one being a stubborn, person. And but that's because I was able to hide myself in a niche in the map. Um, Not an exploit, not under meshing or anything like that. I actually fit my character in between these three little rocks, and unless you knew where to look and you were actively going to try to get there, uh, you couldn't get me. You could probably poison arrow me or flame arrow me, but and even that was a pain in the ass because I tested it myself. I stood right over right by the niche and tried to fire into the niche, and most times the arrows just glanced off of the outer edge. Now the gas arrow will fill the space, and I can't die in that. So it's always a good idea once you unlock gas arrows to actually start getting gas arrows going. But anyway, so if you play a smaller character, first of all, you can hide yourself flat out in the open underneath some unfarmable shrub. No one's going to find you unless they stumble on you. I mean, even the hostile mobs won't come after you. So we're going to go ahead and swindling a baron. Okay, swindling a baron, poor use of punctuation, and impersonating a priestess. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that too. I'm going to skip this because I'm going to talk about RNG with characters too. But so picking a small character, it gets a chuckle out of people too. But I mean, take a look at this. Now I can't pan out to the POV that you would have if you were walking through the area, but you wouldn't be able to find me in this. You wouldn't be able to see me in this. Now you would pick up my headphones, because anytime you're on headphones, even in a party chat, they can see that the headphone's there, that you'll show up on the screen. I'll show up, find signs of life, climb, roll dodge, kick, pick up a rock.
Passage of our highways, like the wild places of the world, where ante.
You shut up.
Beaten, left to rot among the ruins of the past.
Let's see where I'm
There
at.
are others here.
Yeah, it's a fresh character. Look.
Bandits and cannibals.
Hey, look at my level.
Exiles
My level's
from
2.
lands I've
See
never
what I'm
heard
saying?
of. Some of them try to scrape
Maybe it's not
life
so bad.
from the wasteland.
Not too much
rocks
stuttering,
and
but I am in
sand
the open
from one
desert,
place.
so.
I cannot go on.
So yeah, picking a
Life
smaller
fell
character,
left behind
strategically speaking,
The sun
tactically
of the
speaking,
glittering
it's a
spires,
much better
all
choice in
Wherever
PvP.
denied me.
And honestly, even in PvE, it can be a good choice because the same spots that you can hide yourself in a PvP server
Cursed land will find
can
me.
actually also hide you on a PvE
Whoever
server,
reads this
like say for instance, away from
I
mobs.
leave the last of
Because
my water.
I'm not sure if it can
And
still
this
happen,
message.
but one or two times that I played on a
Stranger,
PvE server,
you have
I
my
woke
pity.
up with a splash screen saying I was killed by this world boss or that mob or whatever, and I'm like, these guys are not normally aggro to me when I'm just hanging out in the area, which means that somebody found my body, then kited over that boss or kited over that mob, and because knowing the mob ranges is something really important. Okay, some do range off pretty far, but that's only because they were chasing someone or something, and then eventually, they decided they got to their limit and went back. So yeah, when I said I was killed by the king crocodile and I was already up the rise towards the sinkhole, I was like, King Croc don't go that far on his own. So I knew that somebody had kited him over. So being able to stash yourself in a small spot or a spot that's up and out of the way of a hostile is a good idea.
Gods curse the
And you can do that
sandstorm.
easier
We were
as a
forced
smaller
to
character.
take refuge before the wind scoured the skin from our faces.
And it doesn't really
There is
impact
something
your
in store.
climbing that I can see, but I've
Beasts.
noticed that the smaller the
We hear
character
the
I
skittering
make,
of their paws outside
the less stuttering
ruins,
I have
and
while
their
climbing.
howls mingled with the screaming
Climbing.
winds. The men are scared. I've put them to work crafting rudimentary weapons and torches from the loose stones and rough
on
plants
this
that dot
list.
this place. I've
Just
yet to
me
meet a
and
beast that liked
Danny
fire
Diaz.
or the bite of the axe.
I guess we're playing. We'll see just how the connection is. Ping is not always an indicator of latency, but it does contribute. Ping is important and it's something that's measurable. But server lag is just, it's kind of like you can measure how much snot is coming out of a person's face, but that's not an indication of whether or not they have allergies or a cold, or they're just generally a juicy person. Like right now I am fucking congested like crazy. Oh, there's that stuff. This is why I left the server. This is why I left the server last time. That stuttering right there. Is there something spawning in the area? This is a pretty typical spot to do that. I guess technically at this point I've reached the part where you're actually in the game. So I don't think you can build out past that spot that I stuttered. So changing from one zone to the next causes stutter. I should have some bugs. There we go. Let's eat them bugs. Drink them water. Craft the shit. Okay, here's the thing else I want to talk about. Again, as always, the wish list. This should always be at the top. This should always be at the top. Funcom, are you listening to me? This, I'm going to tag this video later, should always be at the top. You should always, always, always have this at the top. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you get killed and you end up in the desert because you didn't put a bedroll down or your enemies have wiped you to the base, you'll want to do this. And if you're level 60 with almost all the recipes unlocked, you got to sort through like pages worth of this inventory. Either have this as a separate tab on the crafting menu. I mean, there's space. The space between my inventory, my character stand, Hot Wheel, and the crafting menu. There's enough space in there to add a fourth palette. You know. Yeah, I guess I'm just being salty. Let's use a torch. Use the torch. Let's craft a tool. Craft a tool. We got attribute points. Let's spend a feat point. Let's go find a weapon. We spent a knowledge point. We spent more knowledge points. We're spending knowledge points. Yay! Let's go to the survival thing. Okay. Now see that now the inventory is starting to fill up. Look, the things that I would need to make the most of or to replace the most of, they're not there anymore. That right there is enough, though, honestly. Yeah, we'll just make all the fiber. I made a pick already? Ugh, not paying attention. Quick and dirty levels. By the way, we're heading to a jungle. I know I picked the Durketo religion already, but we're heading to the jungle. Or maybe not. Let's see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll go get the set religions. Maybe this will be my religion run. It'll also give me a chance to scout the map completely and find out if the latency and the rubber banding is like as bad as it always has been on this server. So yeah. Oh yeah, skin tone. So picking a skin tone, as you can see, right now, let's go get naked. Now I'm naked, alright? And if, whoops, wrong wheel. If I put my character, just can't emote with a weapon in your hand. Alright, aside from my hair, which honestly, if I was going to do this strategy, I wouldn't even have hair. But as you can see, my head tilts back enough. If you're just running on the horizon back there, or better still, if I'm like hanging over there in that rock next to that tree, I'm pretty well disguised because my skin tone more or less matches the area. Now you don't have green character skins, which would be fucking amazing. Full body dyes would be fun. You could totally camouflage. Well, you could do that actually with the Savage pack. You can camouflage yourself. Oh, I want that. Come on, hurry up. Made a dedicated weapon. I heard a grunt. Okay. Let's go murder an imp. Jeez. Yeah, see that? I should have. He should have died on my first combo. Imps are not that tough, even at my low level. Imps are not that tough. He should have gone down on my first combo. Still, this is what you do. You know, when you're server hopping, you run around, you see, oh, here's a good chest. how easy is it to get a rabbit? These guys are super easy. All you gotta do is do a target lock and do a... Look at that. And then there's that. I don't do that. I don't like that. I'm just like, I'm not eating meat. It's just wrong. But yeah, so basically what I would suggest to Funcom is that in addition to what's on the crafting menu, put up, you know, just all the T1 stuff should be at the top of your list. Because if you're crafting because all the tier 3 and tier 2 and crafting stations, they're all, you know, you're hunkered down. You've got resources. I don't know of anybody who needs to like make a fireball cauldron instantly, and it still is at the bottom. But I mean, if you're building a T3, you know, you've got resources. You're in a secure spot for the most part, or you have somebody there watching your back, and you know you can go through the menu. They should put all that shit towards the bottom. Seriously, they really should. I don't want the baby. I guess the auto attack sword was closest. Oh, let's see what it is. That's not that hard. Come on. Get over here, buddy. Come on, get over here. See, I don't have stamps, so now he'll charge. Smart AI. I like the AI in this game. It's actually pretty good. Thrall AI has gotten way better. That's definite. Okay, so let's go ahead. Grab some eggs. Just a tad over. Taking out the bedroll, looking like... Oh, cool, another fire imp. That sounds like... That sounds like a full afternoon of chili. I had coffee makers used to make noises like that. Is that a female taskmaster or a male taskmaster? It's weird, the voice acting cue was kind of off. Oh, that could be me dead if I'm not careful about this. Wow. It's been ages since I've played with my headphones on. Where did the Taskmaster go? And I have to say that the audio cues in this game have really gotten intense, I would say. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Drop a bedroll. Don't care where, just doing it. Put that there. And we're eating the good stuff. We're not going to mess with that feral, funky flesh. We're going to put this back on. Always make a new one when you drop one. Just because. And you never know. Alright, let's organize my wheel the way I like it. Put this here. Put that there. Put that there. See, that's what I'm saying. Uh-huh. Right on. Oh. Good timing on that bedroll. It's all about timing. So, picking a skin tone. So first, now if you're going to be playing like the Highlands or the Jungle or the Mounds of the Dead, those three areas, swamp, jungle, Highlands, Mounds of the Dead, um, those four areas, um, they are they get really extended night times. And so if you play a darker skinned character, your chances of hiding in that zone, those areas, just like dropping your character and then, just leaving them anywhere, pretty much like you can hide them in a shrub. Um, it's going to be pretty easy to hide, really difficult to spot, obviously. Can I equip a weapon on my wheel here? Oh, that used to not be something you could do. That's cool. At least I had problems with the server one time trying to do that. Let's see. We have new crafting options now. Let's do that. That's always really a good choice. Uh, Javelins are also fun too. And a throwing axe. Just aggro is probably left. Trees are your friend. Okay. Here we go. Dual wield. Hoo-ha-ha. Let's see if we can make this happen. Oh, they... Huh? Wow, that's story of my life. Hi, I'm Hako and I missed the fight. Alright, but we are still going to do the dual wield chest. What the hell, let's eat some imp. Food is food. Okay. Let's try out this, see if the dual wield works. First, wait, we'll just cut that right down, we don't need that. Alright, so we go like this. Oh, I throw it. I threw it. Did I throw it? No, I didn't. Oh, I did throw it. Oh, I made two of them. Okay. So let's see. It used to be that the offhand weapon, the throwing axe. Oh, wow, man, I just right in there, huh?
It wasn't supposed.
See, now the javelins early on are really... I hate that shit. That's another reason why I left this server. Because of that shit. Meshing problems with the characters. So run back. And wait. Yeah, see, I'm not liking that. It's dragging. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Level 11 already, and it's just a pain in the ass. So... yeah, way too slow. The further I go into the map, the worse it gets. Let's see, it's... oh, there's a temple complex here. May or may not be the only people around. But we'll know in a minute. This will be the next decider. So yeah, scouting a server, get right into the things you're going to be doing the most. Killing, climbing, and hiding. Well, killing, climbing, and farming. Just waiting for that to show up. There's no build-up on the river, so it might be that the latency on this server has just caused people to leave. wish there was a way to like put server notes. But I guess that's what a notebook and pen is all about. That's what I used to do before I realized that I could quickly find all the servers that I have characters on just by selecting level. So yeah, so I played with a guy who played a character with the darkest skin possible, and it sounds like bullshit. It doesn't work because he's the one who told me about it. I said that's bullshit. You know, it's so dark you can't see anything anyway. It doesn't matter. You know, you could be, you know, the lightest skin tone character possible, and or the darkest skin tone character possible. It's not going to matter. They're still going to find you. And he goes, "I'll prove it to you." And so we played a game of hide and seek, and he had a clan member. Um, you know, we went out into the forest at the Mounds of the Dead, and I picked a really good hiding hole, and he picked a really good hiding hole spot, and yeah, they found my ass super fast because he didn't know where I was hiding. As to my knowledge, he didn't know where I was hiding. I didn't know where he was hiding, so it wasn't like we could do call outs. We both pulled our mics because we both knew that this was going to be the best way to make sure that no one could find us by our microphones. I was not in a party chat, you know, and we did everything by PMs. And yeah, they found my ass. Well, it might have been luck, who knows? But I was pretty convinced at that time. I was like, okay, yeah, I think you're right. I think this. I think that you know, choosing the skin tone to camouflage your character is a pretty good strat. Me, I personally just don't. I still don't believe it works, and I just don't care.